Hi everybody, this is a special episode of Knits and Pieces. My name is Noelle.
I'm Kelly.
And we're coming to you from southwestern Ontario, and this podcast, or this particular episode, is to tell you a little bit about our recent trip to Hoffman Estates, which is a small suburb about 30 miles, I believe, northwest of Chicago. So there was a mini meetup that was put on by Frivolous and Frugal and the 3-Ply podcast. So we took a train and we had an amazing time.
We did. So we wanted to let you know what we did there and let you know what we got there.
Yes.
And who we met.
Yes.
And I think I just want to start by saying that we were underprepared to be so overwhelmed by the kindness.
Yes.
And the
enthusiasm, the joyfulness. It was just amazing. It was an unbelievable weekend.
It was absolutely a great weekend. And
yeah, we honestly came away with our hearts full.
Overflowing.
Yes.
Full, overflowing. So as Noelle mentioned, it was the Frivolous and Frugal podcast,
yes, and
which is Dawn
and Penny
and their niece,
their sister Nikki, and their niece Brianna.
And then it was co-hosted by the 3-Ply podcast, which is Irene, Joyce, and Angie. Mm-hmm. These are new lifelong friends of ours. It was hard to leave them after just meeting them for a weekend. Yeah. It's kind of overwhelming how you can develop a friendship in a weekend, right?
Well, I mean, I think you go, and because we've watched each other's podcasts, you kind of have, a general idea, but you really haven't met in person.
No.
And yeah, it was amazing.
So it all started with a train ride, and I guess we'll just start there.
Yeah.
It was a really early train ride for me.
It was even early for me, like to get up and be out of the house and ready and...
I had to have my alarm set for 4 a.m. and anybody who knows me knows that there's no way. At 4 a.m. I might go to the washroom, but then I'm headed straight back to bed. And I had set a timeline for myself to be in bed at 11 o'clock. I didn't make it until about 20 to 12, so I was already late. I set my sleep music for 1 hour. I heard the music stop. I reset the music an hour later. I was getting super frustrated. Around about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was starting to have dark thoughts. I'm like thinking... Noelle's probably been in bed sleeping peacefully since 9 o'clock. And finally at 3:45, I said, that's it. I'm getting up. Got up. My bags were packed anyway. I got ready. I drove into Sarnia, picked up Noelle. She gets in the car. She says, I didn't sleep at all last night. So
I never wake up with an alarm, ever. So I had to set an alarm because, normally I'm up by 5, but we had to be actually out the door by 5:15 or something.
Yes.
So I had to make sure I got up early. So I even checked my alarm, set it and put it off for 5 minutes after to make sure it went off. But I couldn't sleep. I was too worried about not waking up. So I just didn't sleep.
So not a great way to start our day with 0 sleep, but we're still super excited to get on the train. So since we live in Ontario, obviously we can't catch a U.S. train in Ontario. So we did have to cross the border at the Blue Water Bridge, the very same bridge that we knit under every Saturday. And we had to make it our way to Port Huron. We grabbed the train, and the train ride was
about
6.5 hours. Lots of knitting on the train. Mm-hmm. Well, not so much for me. I swatched. I took the swatch out. I cast on a sweater. So I had a teensy bit. I think
I finished the sock.
Finished the sock. Probably started something else.
Yep, I started another pair.
Yep. So the train was great. And then we took the train to Union Station in Chicago, at which point we then had to transfer to the Metra train. We are not seasoned travelers, by the way, not training and not like GO train. Well, in Ontario, we would call that a GO train. Definitely not seasoned with that, but I think we did okay.
Yep.
We made it to where we needed to be. Slight little hiccup when we were very near the stop that Irene was going to meet us at. There was a freight train stalled on the tracks ahead of us.
Yep.
So we had to sit there and wait for 20
But luckily
minutes.
we had knitting.
We had knitting. I think I cast on a total of about 4 projects that weekend.
Yeah,
And probably
I don't know if
2 of them that day.
I cast on, I think at least 2 projects that day.
Yes. The conductor on that train thought he'd be a little bit funny, and when he walked by and he says, "Wow, ladies, are you knitting socks? We might be here long enough for you to finish."
And I said, we better not be.
We better not be. We were only about 20 minutes delayed, though.
Yep.
And so we made our way to the stop that Irene was going to meet us at. And she was where she said she would be, luckily for us. And she met us with arms open. And it was so exciting to meet her. It's the same thing, whenever we meet somebody that we watch on a podcast, we hadn't ever met her in person, and the first thing you always think is, oh, you look just like you do. Well, of course we do, right? So we had a great time. She had gift bags in tow to welcome us to Hoffman Estates. She took us to the hotel. Mm-hmm. We were looking a little ragged by then.
We actually didn't go to the hotel first, though. We actually went to
that's right.
Knitworks
We did.
first.
We did. We went to a store. We went to a yarn store. We wanted to beat the crowd, and we're going to talk about the yarn shops that we went to, and I've got a little bit of footage to add into the podcast on that as well. So then she took us to the hotel after the yarn store, and we had a little bit of time to freshen up. There was already a big group of people knitting. The nice thing about the hotel is that the knitters kind of took it over. Mm-hmm. And so there were a group of people already in the lobby, and it was really nice to meet everybody in there. It was so much fun. So we went upstairs, we got changed, got ready, we went out for dinner with Irene and Joyce, had a great dinner, had a glass of wine. Mm-hmm. Totally went to my head after no sleep. And I think the first night, so then we went back.
Yeah, and we did knit for a little bit.
We knit for a little while.
Well, we actually, after the yarn store went back, wound up some yarn that we got at the yarn store.
Yes.
So I had already cast on a new project before we went for dinner.
Yes, you had, as you do, as one does on a knitting retreat.
Yep.
And so then the retreat actually sort of started the next day, which would have been on Friday. Mm-hmm. And they had 2 meeting rooms for us to gather in, yes. And okay, so the best part about this knitting retreat, in my opinion, I mean, there were so many bests, but one of the wonderful things is that there was no schedule.
Right.
There was no planned events. There were a couple of planned events in the evening, mm-hmm. and some activities happening throughout the day. But as far as like a more traditional knitting festival that we would go to where you might have classes or something, there was none of that. It was literally just show up when you show up, hang out with who you want to hang out with, meet new people, meet new knitters. People were coming and going throughout the day and have the best day. Yeah. And it was amazing to meet so many people. And I don't know if we ever found out a count on how many people were there, but there were different people. I don't know. They just had
a count on how many people had signed in, but I think there was probably a lot of people that came that actually didn't sign in.
Yes.
So because there was no cost to sign up. So there was just, they did have a donation box, but there was no cost to sign up. So I'm not sure that they actually got an accurate count of how many people actually came, but I don't know because I'm terrible guessing at that. But
yeah, me too. But there were 2 rooms, and the rooms were pretty full at all times. And so you would just hang out and knit. And inspirational, absolutely, because, everybody's knitting something that you want to then cast on. And we met so many people. Mm-hmm. And people were so kind and generous to us Canadians. They were. There was one other Canadian there.
Well, that we know of. We don't know if anybody else was from Canada or not.
And she flew all the way from Vancouver.
Yeah. Darlene,
which was, and I'm terrible with names, but anyway, so that was great to meet another Canadian. And so we knit our way through the first day. And it was actually the first evening there was a show and tell. Yeah. Of knitted garments.
Yes, which I didn't know. I don't think we knew that was going to happen.
We didn't know. We didn't know any of the things were going to happen.
We couldn't have packed up much more stuff than we brought anyway, because we only brought a carry-on and a knitting bag, sort of.
And by the time we went home, we had much more than a carry-on and a knitting bag. And there were a few other things going on in the room, too, that we obviously we didn't know about ahead of time. So again, we felt a little underprepared, but there was a snack table. And when I say snack table, that sounds loosely like a snack table. There was a buffet spread. Everybody who was coming was bringing things.
Yeah.
There were so many things on that table. They had a full tea and coffee station set up. There were soft drinks.
Yeah.
It was like so much there. They had also a put and take table, which was really a great idea, because if it was some yarn that you had left over from a project or some yarn that you had bought and then changed your mind on using, you could take it and put it on the put and take table, and then if there was anything on the table that caught your eye, you could leave with that as well. So
yeah, and it wasn't just yarn. It was yarn. It was garments. It was needles. It was
there were some patterns, I think, on there too. Some books. Yeah.
So,
and
like anything that maybe you weren't using or didn't plan on using anymore, then might be something that someone else could use.
Yes.
So
there was that, and then so the evening of the show and tell, and I have some footage from that too, so I will include that probably right here. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had
door
prizes.
Door prizes, yeah. Both
door
nights
prizes.
they had door prizes.
There were so many door prizes.
Yeah.
There were, I think
everybody walked away with at least one door prize.
And some people more than
Yeah.
one. So I guess we should start showing some of the things. So firstly, I brought this along because this is something that Dawn and Penny had made up for the mini meetup. These are handy little backpack knitting bags, and they have the logo
or
on
you
there.
Can just drawstring them up, drawstring it
up.
up.
Yes, and they had some swag items in there for us, and lots of goodies. So that was great fun right off the hop to get a little welcome something.
Showing what's in there.
Sure, go ahead. I've moved some of my things out of there already because I've put them
it was like a little, I call it a little tackle box, but a little box just to keep your different little things in. So stitch markers, there was a few stitch markers in it, like a needle stop, a bobby pin, because I forget what they said we used the bobby pins for. And then I put in here, there was a couple of little stitch marker things that, like this little...
I have that on my bag.
This little one that you can put your needles in.
Yes,
right.
Like a little needle stopper.
Like needle stop. Yep. And then there was the little angel stitch markers that Angel Mom, Sandy was her name, made these.
She made the needle stoppers too.
Okay, and the needle stoppers. And then there's a couple of discount codes in here. So that was nice. And then they just got the little Meetup 2022 on there. And then the one other thing that was in there was the little skein of yarn. Do you have your little skein of yarn, or did you take it out?
I didn't get a little skein of yarn.
Didn't you not get a skein of the...
No. I missed out on that one. I think they didn't have enough for all of the bags, and you just grabbed a random bag. So I didn't get the... Oh, you already used it too. How cute is that?
So I already used mine. It was a little skein of yarn. So this yarn is by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. And this is a colorway that she dyed up specifically for Frivolous and Frugal. So it was like 9 grams of yarn. I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do with that?
A sweater.
So I thought I'll do a little mini sweater, and then that'll go on my Christmas tree, and it'll be a memory from the meetup. And it was 9 grams. It took 7 grams, so I have 2 grams left. So maybe I can knit you a little tiny sock, and that can be your That can be your memory from. Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay.
And then, so there were door prizes we talked about. I did get a couple of door prizes, so I'll show you what I got in door prizes because they're lovely. I got a super cute little project bag with candy. It's a Christmas bag, so it's penguins and candy canes and a nice bottom, and it has the
the snaps.
the snaps that I like, so you can use those as yarn feeders. A nice little handle if you want to wander around and knit. And Nikki made these bags, and we met some other podcasters. Nikki was one of them, and at the end of this, we will put the list of everybody else that has a podcast. Some of them are new podcasters, so hopefully you will show them some interest as well, and then we'll also include the links to all of their podcasts.
Yeah, I think I actually did put that on I did put listed all their podcasts underneath the episode that we did right after. But I'll copy and paste it into this one too.
Yeah,
so that
absolutely.
It's there.
So I got that, and then the next night I got another door prize, which was lovely, and it was this gorgeous book by Melanie Berg, the Shawls Book, and there are some beautiful shawls in here. So gorgeous prizes that were donated for Paul, look at that, there's a receipt in there too. Imagine that. I thought I had them all out. Okay,
and then this was the door prize the first night that I got. So this is a bag made by Sandy, and they call her Queen Sandy because she's so generous and so nice and just unbelievable. Anyway, so she'd made quite a few bags for the meetup, and then I got this one, and I think I was sitting beside Sandy, and she goes, "I was thinking of you when I sewed this bag because it's all pink."
It's all pink.
So I ended up with this bag, and it's gorgeous. It's got really nice kind of burlappy ribbon fabric that she's got on here for the handle. She's got inside pockets on the bag. I don't know if you can see that. Inside pockets, outside pockets. So well made, nice and sturdy, and she
all
had
the monogramming on here as well. It's beautiful.
She had made quite a few bags for the giveaway, like unbelievable amount of bags for the door prizes.
Her heart is this big. And we have a great picture of us with Sandy, so I will insert that picture here so you can all see what she looks like. Also, she had made some other bags for the meetup, and we each have one.
Yes.
These are huge. So thank goodness we got them. Oh, yes. Yours is a little emptier. I'll let you show yours.
Okay.
Mine's the same.
She had made bags, and she wanted to make sure that Kelly and I had one, so she wanted us to pick out what we wanted. So we both chose the same bag. Of course we did. Anyway, I don't know how we would have gotten back from Chicago if we didn't have these bags to pack everything into. But these are, again, it's got the Meetup 2022 pockets inside. I do have just one thing in it, but the bottom, the fabric that's on the bottom is actually really fabric that you could easily wash down. So if you've set the bag down outside or you've got something on it, it's easy to wipe that off. But yeah, I don't know how we would have gotten back without having these bags. But
because one of the reasons we needed the big bags is because Sandy, Huge Heart Sandy, made quite a number of bags for us.
Yes, for us to give away.
Monogrammed with our knits and pieces, and we will be giving those away over the next amount of time to come, and we're actually going to let you know how you'll have a chance to win one at the end of this episode too. So stay tuned for that. Okay, and then there was we did get another gift too.
Oh yeah,
so many gifts, so many gifts. Dawn and Penny thought that we needed a thank you.
Which I don't know why. We
should be thanking them, and we are thanking them. But she gifted us these lovely mini skeins by Julie Aslin, and it's the Lizu DK.
Yep.
And so now we have to find something special to use these in.
I know.
And I think these were specially dyed for the yarn shop that they bought them for.
Okay.
And I
think she got it at. I think she got them at Firefly Fibers.
Firefly, yes.
Yep.
I had the card.
I don't see a colorway name. Does yours have a colorway name?
Poppy.
Okay, mine doesn't have a colorway name, so I'm not sure.
So I think maybe that's the one that.
Yeah, so this might be the one that they dyed specially for the. But yeah, it's so nice, and this is a merino silk blend. It's 90% superwash merino and 10% silk. So yeah, gorgeous.
We'll have to find something special for that.
So thanks, ladies.
Thank you. It was like the weekend that kept on giving.
I know.
There was no end to it. Okay, so now should we No.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to show. I don't know if you have yours with us, and I believe this was Christine, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. But this little,
I do.
she
Mine
had
is
these.
on this bag.
I'm just going to take mine off to show it. I'm pretty sure this was Christine, but again, I apologize if I got the name wrong. But we met so many people, it's hard to keep. Like, I can see faces.
Yes.
But I still can't put everybody's name to the face. But maybe after next year we will.
Maybe, because we're definitely going back.
So she made us these little stitch markers of the maple leaf. So mine, of course, is pink. And it just happened to match my purse exactly.
Perfectly.
So I put it on keep it on my purse.
Yes.
So.
And I added mine to my new bag that I bought. I bought a bag, right?
Yes.
I never buy bags.
I bought a bag too. Anyway, okay. So where do you want to start?
Should we talk about? Let's talk about Elgin.
Okay.
Okay. So we went to Elgin Knitworks first, and we liked it so much that we went back.
We were there three times altogether. 3 times.
I thought Betsy was going to be
Saturday.
sick of seeing us. And the one time I was there, I even made it through the purchase line twice. So
apparently that was my fault.
Well, it was. It was absolutely your fault. You're enabling me when I'm trying to behave and thinking.
She was not.
I'm thinking we have no room to get this back. What are we going to do?
I never think about that till it's actually time to get it back.
I will say, you know what? When we came back on the train on Sunday, it was slightly more chaotic to get out of Union Station than it was to get in. It was like...
The train was full, and I swear all the trains that were leaving the station that day were lined up at the same spot.
It was as if every post-apocalyptic movie you have ever seen
where everybody's
trying to get out of the city. Well, that was going on at Union Station, and we were so lucky. Irene, sweetheart, decided that we shouldn't take the metro back to Union. Thank goodness. That might have been a bit of chaos too. So she drove us to Union Station and dropped us off. And I mean, we made it on the train, but I kept looking like over my shoulder, like, is she still with me? Is she still with me? And like, she's tiny. She's easy to lose.
It was mayhem.
Mayhem. Okay, so back to Elgin. What did we get on the first day?
Oh, I got my bag. We got our bags.
We got our bags. Okay, you talk about yours.
Okay, so Elgin carries Delaque. Okay, so when I saw this, and this is like next to pink, one of my favorite colors, and it goes very well with pink. So they had some knitting bags. Well, really, these are bags that you could use basically for more things than just knitting. So this is like, it's got the shoulder strap, so you can stick it over your shoulder, and it's adjustable. It also, you can also fold it down and close it up like this. So you've got that. It's also got this little pin here, holds all different stitch markers on it. These are little lotus ones. And then on the inside, it's got, there is a cutter if you need to cut your yarn. It's also got a little guide if you want to thread your yarn through there to kind of keep it from untangling. There's pockets inside. There's pockets outside. There's pockets on the back. And it's all in this waxed canvas in this dark burgundy color, and I just love it.
It's really nice.
So I would say this is sort of like a messenger bag.
Yes.
Would be that.
And so because she got that, and you know, my FOMO was kicking in hard, and I thought, well, she's going to have this great bag. So I didn't get the same bag. I got a similar bag, and that lint is not included. Okay, so I got a different style. So this is a crossbody sling backpack bag, and things I love about it, the detail. Firstly, the fact that you can sling the backpack either way, so it's giving you hooks on either side. There is a pocket at the back, a deep pocket, and then everything is so well made. The leather on here is like soft and supple. I really, really like it. Even the leather straps are canvas lined underneath. And then, excuse me, this pocket at the front I found really, really helpful. I had my cell phone in there all weekend, and mine also comes with the pin with the little stitch markers. I've added my little needle stopper and the sheep, and that's where I had my little maple leaf as well.
Yeah.
And then I was using the front of the bag as my purse. And in here, more pockets. These ones would be also big enough for your cell phone. This one here would be, I have a large phone and every good thing that you need to pack in there, sunglasses, what have you. And then the back is where my knitting projects lived for the weekend. So here's the inside of that. Again, tons of zippers. I also have the yarn cutter, the needle, or the yarn guide.
Yeah, and they also had, I forgot, they had, and I think yours has this too, is the little,
there's a pocket for
notebook.
Yes.
And the
darning needle.
And the darning needle all came with it.
Yes.
So, and it's a little, the notebook is little like.
It's pin dots like, if you want to draw some diagrams on your
well, I'm thinking
color work.
I'm thinking, stitch patterns.
Stitch patterns. Yep. And this one even, I don't know if your pocket has that, but do you have the spot for the needles?
That I don't know if I do or not. Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Yes,
so there's a spot there to plug needles into. So really, it's a gorgeous bag that I could use anywhere. I wouldn't just need to use it for knitting, but I love that it's 2 compartments and that I can actually keep the knitting in the back completely separate from everything else I need. This is going to become absolutely my go-to bag. I used it all weekend. I didn't even take a purse with me. So lucky I had bought this, and it came in 2 colors. It was this, and then there was also a black canvas with all the brown hardware. I really liked the black one, and I thought, well, it will go with more things, but this one kept saying, this is your color, get this. And I kept walking around the store, and I ended up with this one. I could not love it more. It's a beautiful, beautiful bag. So, so, so well made. Okay. And what else did we get on the first day? Oh, well, we got this.
Got that.
So you can show it, and then I'll show what it's knitting up into, because I've been working away on it.
So this is, I forget who it's by.
I have it.
The tag. So this is a gradient mohair.
Oh, well, I had it.
And I think it's
right here.
Okay.
It is Essentials, Super Kid Mohair, and they just call it print. Well, Rico Design,
okay.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
So this is a 50-gram cake.
Yes.
And it's well, you can see in mine, you can see the gradient from like the green, the coral, the pink, the blue, and then it goes back to the green again. And Kelly's is more in the greens and purples.
Mm-hmm. That's what's left of mine. And
then we held it with, although I actually started it, and this was just a little too colorful for me, so I pulled mine back out. But this yarn is Direful yarn. And I believe, is it an 80-20?
It is not.
75,
it's 75-25.
25. But this one's just like my color. I can't remember the name of the color, of course, but it's kind of, mine's kind of pinks, greens, pale corals, and then yours is more in.
Mine is called Trimmings and Trappings, and I bought other yarn by the same dyer. This is a dyer that is yarn. Local to
the Chicago area.
The Chicago area,
exactly
sorry,
where.
Yes. And Elgin Knitworks carries quite a bit of their yarn. So they had a sample knit up of a cowl. It was just a very super simple cowl. And basically they give you the pattern as well, but you cast on stitches and you knit until you're done.
It's called the L cowl.
The L cowl,
and
which I think is after the L.
It could be after the L train.
The L train.
Yep.
We don't know.
We're guessing.
We're guessing. It's a huge guess.
Tell us. We want to know if we're wrong what it actually is, and we will get it straight.
Because we had to train our brains to say Elgin, because we have...
we say Elgin. Now, I had a conversation with Mike and Jacqueline about that, and they're saying that Elgin is because that is the British pronunciation. Like
and that's
Lord
exactly
Elgin.
What Sarah was telling us.
Oh, that's right. It was Sarah. But I talked to Mike and Jacqueline, and they said the same thing. Yes.
But in Chicagoland, it's called Elgin. So we were trying to do as the Chicagoans do, and we were mindfully trying to say Elgin. But it made it a little bit easier because we knew the name of the store was Elgin Knitworks. So
I just remembered because Irene told me it was gin like the drink. I'm like, okay.
Okay. So what this is doing is knitting up into a gradient cowl. So I've made it through a few color changes already, and I'm into the pink now. So you can just sort of see some of the pink that's coming through. And that's basically all it is. You just knit this stockinette until you're done the yarn, and it will just be, once it blocks out too, because the one in the store seemed to be a little bit looser, but I think I'm using the same size needle.
Yep.
And it will just be kind of like this loose drapey mohair cowl to wear through the winter
I was thinking
months.
like my mohair is like quite a bit more colorful than Kelly's. So I was thinking this would actually look nice just with a plain cream color in the background, and then you just see the subtlety of the mohair shade changes. I just thought it was just a bit much. I like them both like that, but when I put them both together, it was just a bit too much color.
Yes, when you were knitting it, it's just you just weren't loving the combo.
I just wasn't loving it, so I thought, well, I'll just start something else.
I have some skeins. I have extra skeins of the Ravenswood in the nude.
Okay.
If you need a perfect cream, just let me know.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay.
I might have something.
I actually have I have some skeins of the Knit Picks Capra, which is their cashmere blend.
Yes. That would be really nice too.
Yeah. And it's just in the bear color, so I think that would.
So I think that's pretty much all we bought on the first round. No?
It's not all I bought.
On the first round?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you're right. I did buy more. I bought quite a bit more.
I bought... Did I find it in all these bags here?
I bought this. I'll talk this while you're digging things out.
Talk that.
So this is a Color Lab DK by West Yorkshire Spinners. And they paired it up with some minis at the store. And Irene from 3Ply Podcast, you've heard us talk about her Get Shorty socks that we're obsessed with. Well, she also came out with a Get Shorty DK pattern, and I bought this to make some of those. There were a lot of store samples there too, which is really helpful. As you know, any store you go into, and once you see a sample, then that's where the inspiration hits and you want it. So I bought these colors to go with this pattern. I'm anxious to cast that on. I haven't gotten on that DK sock train yet that everybody else has gotten on to. So that's the other thing I bought that day.
Okay, so the other thing that I bought that day was this skein this skein of Blossoms by Wonderland Yarns. So this is a fingering weight, but we're pretty sure that it must have been dyed like in a blank because the yarn's still a little bit crinkly, but it's kind of a gradient, and I've started at the inside, so it goes from kind of this creamy caramelly color and then goes out into like the yellows and the corals. So I started this after I ripped the other one out because I thought, well, I still have to start something new. So what I'm doing with it is the Gentle Waves. So the Gentle Waves is just kind of a little shawlette pattern that shows the gradient off really nicely, and it's just got some little cables in it. So the pattern was free when you bought the little kit. It came in a kit with the yarn, and then there's what I've gotten so far. So you can see actually it starts off with the caramels, what I've got left in there, but it's kind of almost like a mauvey taupey, yes. And then I've moved into the caramelly color, and you can just sort of see the little cabley pattern in it. So got to get back to that. But yeah, so that was, apparently this company does a new colorway every month, and this one, their inspiration was the Atlas Moth and all the colors that are in it.
Very nice.
So yeah, and it feels really nice. This is an 80-20 blend, I believe. And this is their Garden Club, and this is Atlas Moth.
Very nice.
So, but I should get that done because it's perfect colors for like summer into fall.
They had quite a few little pattern kits in the store, which I always like that idea because sometimes you'll see a yarn that you like and you just don't have something in mind for it that day.
Yep.
So the fact that they were kitting things up into little, smaller projects that you could just buy the skein, you've got the pattern there, and then you're just ready to cast on and go. I really like that.
Yeah, and this also had some gorgeous stitch markers that came with it, but I've already taken them off and put them in my little stitch marker.
Oh, that's right, it did. I remember that.
Yep.
Okay, I think I bought one more thing there that day. I bought this also from Direful Yarns. This is, again, it's the 75-25 sock. They call it their slasher sock base. And this colorway is Stardust.
That's pretty.
And I really actually wanted it just for some socks. I don't have a lot of like speckly yarn in my stash. I don't. Really, I don't. And I have a lot of debatable. And I thought I'd really like some. I've been looking at some speckles lately, seeing some that I like, and so I wanted to get something that was pretty speckly, and this one definitely fit the bill. It's really pretty. So this will be some future socks for someone. Okay, and did we get buttons that day? No, I think I went.
I think you got the buttons the second day.
Okay. Well, they also. All right, let's just move on.
Okay.
So then.
The second day I didn't buy anything. Other than we thought we should donate a door prize. That was the only thing that I got on the second day there.
That's right. So we bought, actually also by Delaque, something I might buy for myself next year.
Yeah, it was
nice. Beautiful. It was the wax canvas needle holder. Gorgeous bag. So, well, then
all of it was hard to decide. All of the Delicu products were amazing. They had the train case. I wouldn't mind having that. I just could have bought more.
Really nice. Really nice. So now I'm wondering, what did I buy the second day then?
The buttons. You bought some of the buttons, and I think you might have bought more the next day.
Oh, no, I bought this. Okay, so...
okay.
That's
no,
right.
you didn't. We bought that the third day.
I cast it on that day, though.
No, you didn't.
I thought I did.
Nope.
It's a blur.
No, you cast it on the Saturday.
I know that when we got back to the hotel that night, I wanted to cast this on immediately. So I was winding the yarn. I'm pretty sure I have video of that too. I was sitting down in the lobby, winding it around my legs. And James, who is a podcaster, Dude Knits, he pointed out that somewhere down in the room, he thought there was a ball winder.
Yep.
And I thought, well, that's just nonsense. This is so much more fun, looking silly in the lobby.
I would have rather went to the ball winder.
Well, I was already invested in it at that point.
I already did mine up in the room around the chair, and then you held the rest of it for me.
That's right.
So,
so then the second day, we went back to Elgin. I still think that's when I bought that, but
it's not.
It's not.
We didn't, because that cowl did not even come out till the Saturday morning. That cowl pattern didn't even come out till the Saturday morning.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what I bought there on the second day.
We bought the door prize, and you got buttons.
Buttons. Okay. Well, I'll show the buttons. Excuse me. They have a fantastic supply of buttons. And I don't know how well any of these are going to show up on camera because we're not that close. These are just buttons that I chose for the just in case buttons. And these ones are these are a metal button. And I'm thinking these would be great for a cardigan. And then here's some other future project buttons that I bought. They're like a black shell. They're really lightweight. I thought also for a cardigan. And then I bought some super cute buttons for Miles. We have turtles and this cute little blue bug. And then more buttons for a future cardigan for myself. But these little turtles are so adorable. There's one there that you can see maybe. And I'm thinking cardigan for Miles so that he can have some little turtles. And then I bought more buttons for a cardigan. And these ones are like a bronze Celtic knot pattern. Buttons are really reasonably priced. Really reasonably priced. And then these ones I'll save because they go with the project that we got on the next day.
Yep.
So then also on the second day, we went to another yarn store. And we
have to say thanks to Cheryl for taking us.
Yes, absolutely. Cheryl drove us around like a trooper.
Brianna was the navigator.
Yeah,
because we would have got lost.
Oh, well. Well, plus we didn't have a car.
We didn't have a car.
It would have been a bit of a walk. So we went to a store called Wool and Co. And it looks new. I guess it's not new.
Someone said that that's their new location.
New location. It's a very big store. And it really high ceilings. It's if yarn were to have a big box store, Wool and Co. would be it, I guess.
It almost kind of reminded me, except it was tidier, of walking into Mary Maxim's. But just tidier.
Absolutely.
And just yarn, because
Yes.
Mary Maxim's was more
And it was
things
very well curated. They have all of the larger, not so much commercially dyed yarns, but larger.
like La Bien-Aimée. They had Madeline Tosh. They had the Fiberco, Leading Men Fiber Arts,
Hedgehog, big wall of Hedgehog.
and then they also had like a lot of the commercial yarns too, like Rauma.
That's right.
They had a lot of Cascade yarn.
Yes.
can't remember some of the. They had West Yorkshire spinners. They definitely had a wide variety of yarn choices.
And if they didn't have it there, they could get it for you. And if you live in the U.S., they do ship for free anywhere in the U.S.
That's if you join the club.
Oh, only if you join the club. Sorry.
I think they might ship over a certain amount if you don't, but I think if you join the club, it was free shipping for whatever. I don't know how long your club memberships last, whether it was
probably
for
a year.
I don't know. Like for us, we're in Canada. It's not.
It wasn't worthwhile, but I do know that several people that were there with us joined the club, and they felt that they were already getting discounts and savings that exceeded the price of the club. So it's a lovely store, and we bought a couple of things.
I didn't. I only bought one thing.
Okay.
Well,
I bought a couple of things. I'll show them first, and then we can show what we bought the same. Because, of course, we bought something the same.
Yeah.
So a company that I've always heard a lot of other podcasts talk about is Leading Men Fiber Arts. And I have never had an opportunity to get my hands on their yarn.
I'd never. That was the first time I'd ever seen it.
It feels every bit as nice as everybody talks about. So this is their Showstopper base, which is a fingering, and it is 463 yards into 100 grams. And this colorway is Don't You Know? And it has some purples, some teals in there. There's even like some taupey mauves buried in there as well. I ended up buying a whole lot of purple, and lately everything I'm knitting is purple. So I must be on a purple kick, but I'm really happy with this yarn. So I can easily get 2 pairs of socks out of this. And there was another sock yarn there that I had been wanting to try, and this one is called Socks Socks by Coop Knits. And this is only a 50 gram skein, but I can easily get, using a 50 gram skein, I can get the socks I need, and I'll have a little bit left over. And of course it's purple as well, and it just paired really nicely with that. So I'm thinking alternating heels and toes, if nothing else. This is really soft. It is a 75-25, but it's probably 75 merino, right? So it is merino. So it's, like it feels a lot to me like the Leo and Roxy Basics. I don't know. It has something a little different in there that I can feel too. But I'm interested to try it. It's a brand, that I didn't have access to. This is super plump. Yeah, it feels to me like the basics. Okay. But I don't think they don't have as many of the heathery colors. No. They have more of just the straight. Anyway, so they looked really pretty together. So I got those. And then just as we were about to leave the store, Noelle found and hauled me back. Said, "Oh, we've got to get this." This is something that we didn't have access to. I had read about it and I had looked at it before, but I'd never really felt it or see it. So this is the Fiberco, and it is the Ciro. So it is a brushed blend of Surrey alpaca, organic cotton, and merino wool. And this feels so amazing. It feels not like butter. It just feels nice and soft. No, this doesn't feel like butter. This does feel soft and squishy and nice. And Noelle, of course, got pink. Yes, I did. I did not. So I got this tealy peacock color, and we bought sweater quantities. Yep. So this is it's 40% alpaca, 40% cotton, 20% wool. It's 50 gram cakes, but they are 225 meters, and it's kind of like a sport. It's 23 stitches for 10 centimeters. It kind of looks like a fat mohair, because it's got the cord inside is black, although yours is white. Mine's white. My cord is black, and then it has all this like luscious fiber attached to it. So I got 4, and I think I got 5. We have no idea what we're making with it, but these will be sweaters for sure. It's definitely going to be a sweater, but I haven't decided what yet. I think we looked at some patterns, but my mind will change a million times before I actually cast it on. Yeah, super pretty though. Really, really pretty. So that was shopping haul day 2, and then on the Saturday we went back to Elgin, as one does. Yes. Well, and it was really busy on Saturday too.
It was
The
super
lineup
busy.
was out to the end of the door.
And it was also the start of their
yarn
yarn
crawl.
yarn crawl
Crawl.
with a bunch of different stores in that area. So it was the start of that.
And so what they were doing at the mini meetup was sort of shuttling groups of us to the yarn store on Saturday, which was, again, super kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all went out for a nice lunch after. And so despite the fact that we'd already been in there
twice,
there were still little secrets to find. So that was the day that I bought 2 things. So on Saturday, there was a cowl that I've been stalking a little bit on Instagram by Karina Spencer, and it's called the Twofold Cowl. Well, she hadn't named it at that point. She had just been showing like some sneak peeks and pictures of it. And I really, really liked the idea of this cowl. So a few of us decided we were going to make the cowl. So off to Elgin we go. And you can show what you got for it, and then I'll talk. Well, hers is, of course, done.
So mine's done. So this is the Twofold Cowl. Feels amazing. The yarn that I got for it, there's so many bags here to pick things out of where it is, because I know I still had some extra yarn. Okay, you show yours while I'm looking for it.
Okay. Well, it calls for a DK weight. So I went right back to the Direful yarns, and I chose 2 colors in DK. And I have a gray, which is Gargoyle, and then I have this like rich purple, again purple, which is called Sweeney Todd. And I really like the way these 2 look together. Not like a super high contrast, but like a subtle contrast. And so we did skein that up on the winder that time, though.
Yes.
And we cast on right away. And I got through the ribbing on mine on that first day. And then because it's in Tarja, that's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was not conducive to train knitting for me.
Okay.
For me, in
It
Tarja,
was fine for me.
for me, Intarsia needs 2 bowls, one on either side of me, or I become less enamored of the Intarsia. So I left it, but I picked it back up again last night, and I got started on it. So I do have some of the crosses are in there, so it's developing, and you can see what the 2 colors look like together.
Yeah, the crosses are really, I should show this side more. The crosses are really, that's what I think really drew me to it. Like, I really like the look of how they join the 2 colors together on that side. And then obviously on this side, it's just the buttons on the button band. So the yarn that I picked for it, this is Simply Natural. It's by Skacel. And this when we had been to the store with Brianna on the Friday, she had bought this in a red and a black, and it just felt amazing. So when this cowl dropped on the Saturday morning, I just thought, oh, I wonder what colors they have in that, and I just loved those 2 colors together. So mine's actually a little bit thicker. Like, this is more like a worsted to an Aran weight. So, and this is also a alpaca blend. Like, seems like we bought a lot of alpaca, but this is 40% baby alpaca, 40% fine merino, and 20% mulberry silk. And this color is called Petal. This color, I believe, is called Tangent. Now, you need the same amounts of both, but for some reason, and I didn't weigh my skeins before I started, for some reason I had to dip a little bit into the second skein of this one.
Okay.
But when I weighed this one, I still have over 100 grams left. I still have like 101
So maybe you just got a
102.
slightly light skein, maybe.
Well, or they could have all been bigger, and I don't know. Anyways, I've still got basically a full skein of this one left. And also, when they had the like where we did this little show and tell on the Friday night, and they were doing door prizes, they also threw out Pom Poms. So this is a Pom Pom that I caught, and it actually will look perfect for a hat with that. And this will make the perfect warm winter hat.
Yes.
So that was, I got that day to do the cowl, cast it on right away, and love it. It's still got to be, it's going to stretch out a little bit, and I do want it a little bit looser, but I've still got to block it. But I mean, this is nice, warm yarn. It's not anything that I'm going to be wearing in the next little while.
Not anytime soon.
So once I get it blocked and get pictures, I'll get some onto the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
So
then, from there, that was day 2. Day 3.
Well, that was, we
day
got
3
that, but we
on
also
Saturday.
got more. That was
we got
Saturday.
More. So then, I checked out. I got my Cowl yarn. And then Noelle, she goes back and she's like, oh, but did you see this? So this is
Manos del Uruguay. Is it Manos or is it Malabrigo? No, it's Malabrigo.
Malabrigo.
This is Malabrigo Susura. So it is, does it have, no, this one doesn't have alpaca. This one is 50% mulberry silk, 25% merino wool, and 25% linen. It's basically a DK sport weight. There's 325 yards in 100 grams.
And it feels
it does feel amazing. The drape in that is going to be incredible.
Gorgeous. So summer tea for sure.
Yep. And my color is called Hollyhock.
Which is pink.
Well, it's pinkish purple.
And mine is purple.
They actually look good together.
They look really good together.
So
we might do a stripe. Maybe we could do a striping tee and use the 2 colors. But anyway,
it feels
really,
really super nice. And I had seen this. I hadn't ever seen it in person, but I'd seen it, and I think some Hohi sweaters are done with this.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I really like the look of it, and I really like it. So
it's beautiful.
So I got this too. So
this one, even though it's purple, it has like trails of blue in it too.
Yep.
It's
well, it's even when you look in this, there's kind of almost different, like light pink and. And I think it's the different fibers take the dye a little bit differently.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So.
You know what I forgot to show?
So we should have said too. We should have said if you really don't like large yarn hauls, you probably shouldn't watch this.
Well,
too late.
I felt like we were somewhat restrained though. I forgot to show. These are the buttons that I have for my cowl. So they're like a black. Sorry for the crinkling. They're like a black leather with these little like grommets in them. I don't know if they show up or not, but the buttons will show on the gray portion of my cowl. And I really liked sort of like the steampunk feel of these buttons.
And I mean, I was super lucky. Like I had those buttons in my button stash.
They're perfect.
And they just,
perfect.
So, yeah, it was
Very
fun.
nice.
It was fun knitting that. I really liked knitting that.
Oh, and then when we left the store, there was another little store next to it, and it's actually a pottery tea store, and they had, oh gosh, absolutely beautiful teapots, hand-thrown teapots, and they also had in the front window all of these little miniature bowls.
Yeah,
and Cheryl and I said, we're stopping back in. I love just to have these around the house to put little stitch markers and things in, right? They're just like little, they would be also good like for pinch bowls. They're actually the teacups. These are, I guess they said the size of the tea that you would drink. I would like a little more tea than this, but I think they'll be perfect for stitch markers. So I grabbed a couple of those from there as well. Very nice couple that own that store. And okay. So I think
that's it.
I think that's it.
Except for the sandy bags.
The sandy bags.
Yeah.
So also at the end of the second day, we, for the activity that evening and kind of the wrap up of the event, they had brought in a huge birthday cake. And because Frivolous and Frugal was turning four, and
3-ply podcast, I think, was turning 5.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a huge birthday cake that they cut up for everybody, and it was fun. It was amazing.
And so then the next day when we woke up, people were still knitting. In no hurry to leave. The lobby was full. And as I said, the nice thing about this is that there was truly no schedule. So perfect for people like us who are on opposing sleep schedules. So Noelle would head up to the room earlier to go to bed, but then she was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she could find people to knit with at 6 in the morning. And me up until 1:30 at night, still knitting with people in the lobby. And we had a great night that night that we stayed up really, really late. And you know who you are if you're watching it, but I'm telling you, we had the so many laughs, and it was kind of like that whole tired drunk feeling. There was no alcohol involved that night, but it was definitely a tired drunk, and we were ridiculously silly, but so much fun.
Yeah, we had a few glasses of wine over the weekend, but there really wasn't a whole lot of drinking, or so it was just fun.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah,
and just
so many nice people.
To meet so many people. So, okay, so here's what we want to show. I'll put this away so I don't lose any stitches in the process. Drop that down there. So here's one of the bags that the amazing Sandy made for her. Oh, you've brought two.
Oh,
you had
mine.
yours. Yeah. So this is the one that we're going to give away. And
This one is mine, because we each picked out one for ourselves that says Knits and Pieces on it. So this one, it was pink and it had yarn balls and it's sparkly, so it was perfect.
And this one I think this one is perfect. It's a nice
perfect.
summer color.
Oh, that's nice. Yep.
Yeah, so it has like some handbags. It has a little bit of metallic on the handle. This pink is glittery. Oh, it's the same as your
mine.
pink. The same. And it's monogrammed with Knits and Pieces. So
and they have
pockets
inside,
on the inside. Zippered pockets at that.
Pocket on the outside.
Yeah. Just
good and sturdy.
Very sturdy.
Yep.
These are well made. They made it all the way back from Chicago with all of our haul in there. And so thank you, Sandy, for doing this. This is like above and beyond kind. Above and beyond. So we would like to give this one away to one lucky viewer. And what we've decided that you can do is, if you leave a comment below the video and tell us what is the most spectacular place you have ever knit.
Yep. And it can be spectacular to you. Like if
it could be hanging out in your backyard.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I had, like, this past week when I was in Thunder Bay, there were some absolutely amazingly gorgeous places that I got to knit at, like waterfalls, and just, I honestly, like, some of them I could have just sat there, I could have had my knitting, I could have had a glass of wine, and I could have sat there all day and knit.
I know.
But just beautiful
so
and
nice.
Peaceful, and so, and then I've also knit in really hectic places like airports and in line in places. And
yes, the Chicago train station.
We didn't knit in the station. But on the train, it was like, get that knitting out, we need to calm down.
Yes. So comment below the most spectacular place you've ever knit. We're going to let that roll until August the 31st of 2022, in case anybody's still watching this next year, but it's 2022. And at the end of that, we will do a random draw, and we will announce the winner on the next regular knit chat following August 31st.
I think it'll actually be September 6th, because I think August 31st is a Wednesday, and then the following Tuesday will.
Okay, so we'll announce the winner there of this gorgeous Queen Sandy bag. Yeah.
And believe me, you can fit a sweater, a large shawl.
Oh.
You can even fit, if you wanted to, you can put like a couple of little individual project bags in there, like if you're going under the bridge to knit and didn't know what you wanted to knit.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but again, we want to thank everybody that was at the meetup and everybody that helped put it together. You did an amazing job. We enjoyed meeting each and every person there, and like just have memories that'll last a lifetime.
We already are definitely, it is booked into the calendar to return to next year. And this was exciting. Some of the people that we met over there have decided that they would like to come to this side of the border, and they're already making plans to join us next May in Montreal for
Knit City.
So yeah, there's that.
Yep.
There's that.
Yep.
So yeah, again, hearts are full.
Yep.
Hearts are full, and it was amazing. Thank you. I mean, we just keep saying thank you, and I just don't feel like it's enough.
I know. The
kindness that was shown to us. We are just two Canadian girls who knit, and it, again, overwhelming.
Yeah.
And we just kept saying, my gosh, they're so nice. So nice.
But I mean, we love being able to connect with people virtually like this. But if you have the opportunity or the chance to go and knit with people in person, like, just do it. Don't be afraid. Knitters are nice people, and you know, if you've got, I mean, I know for a lot of us, it's not, the opportunity's not there, but if you do have the chance, take it. Mm-hmm. So
yes, don't let a chance pass you by to hang out with some really super people. So All right.
Like, I honestly think you could have gone to this event not knowing anybody, and you would have come away knowing a whole new group of friends.
Yes. Well, we do.
So,
we have a whole new group of friends.
But we kind of had a little idea of some of the people. But I'm saying, even if you didn't, I think you would go to that, and people would be there talking to you and interested, and you would come away with a warm heart. So,
yeah, I honestly don't think anybody could have left that event thinking that they didn't have an awesome time.
No.
It was uplifting, inspiring, and again, just thank you, ladies, for putting it together, and thank you for welcoming us into.
And I'd honestly
circle.
like to see more events like that weren't cost prohibitive for a lot of people to go to.
Yes.
And I mean, I have been to, like, some, and so have you, like some of the events where you pay more money, and I enjoyed this one more.
I did too.
So,
well, the lack of scheduling for me, that was great, because I could start my day, I could ease into my day a little later, and not having to be on any schedule. I know that they were doing a little evaluation at the end of it, asking what they thought that they could do better, and I said, I don't know, host a second one in a year. Like, it was literally, it was just fun. It was so much fun. I don't know, like, there just really aren't words for how amazing. We're coming home on the train, and we're just like, that was amazing.
We're still overwhelmed.
We're still overwhelmed.
So,
but
anyway,
hopefully you enjoyed this little mini-sode of what we did in Chicago, and looking forward to more adventures. And not once
did we ever want to go out and see anything else in Chicago.
Well, it was...
I mean, we were a ways away from Chicago, but still, like, I thought, I don't want to leave here. These are...
I know. It was amazing.
So
much fun. So thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, whenever this airs, we'll be back Tuesdays.
We'll be back on Tuesdays on a regular.
So,
yeah. And
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting us and watching us. And happy knitting.
Happy knitting.